Alright, Shalom. This is the brother ICR.
Sakallah.
And this is Great Millstone, Charlotte. First and foremost, we give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And salutation to you, Akim Nationwide, is teaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom. Alright, so, you know, me and the brother we was looking up this word remnant on the Google, and one thing that we noticed when we pulled up the images, that word remnant, if these movies popped up where it always showed a surviving group of people from destruction, you know, from doom and destruction. So like this movie Remnant here, you know, you got Doomsday. It's always some type of world destruction that happens, but there's always a surviving group from it. You know what I'm saying? And that made us think about the elect, which is us, because we're going to be that surviving group, Lord willing, that makes it out of America through all of this great destruction in the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, so that's what kind of inspired this lesson. And also, looking up that word remnant, I found this picture here. It says Israel, the land and its people, and Bible prophecy. And it says the future of Israel foretold in the Bible, the Great Tribulation, which we're in that time of that Great Tribulation now. You know, you got the chip, RFID chip is mainstream now. All you scoffing niggas can't say nothing against it no more. All right, we living in the last days, the last seconds. Okay, all right. You got martial law, all right, which is already in effect because brothers have shown videos of the tanks, the MRAPs coming into the cities discreetly. You know what I'm saying? You got we're in the midst of a famine right now. You know, this GMO food, people are dying. You know, so these are this is part of the Great Tribulation, man. You know, but it says 2/3 of the people in Israel will be cut off and die during this time. All right, and that's according to Zechariah 13:8 and 9. All right, it says 144,000 Jews sealed and marked for protection during the Great Tribulation, man. So that's going into the elect, 144,000 and the 1/3, man. That's going to have that mark according to Ezekiel 9 and 5, that Hebrew word thawa, which means exemption from judgment, man. You know what I'm saying? So these scriptures that it was listed at the bottom are on point, you know. So jumping right into the scriptures. This is Jeremiah chapter 1. It's like Jeremiah 31 chapter 7. For thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Yahweh Shem Yahushai, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. All right, and that's what we do week in and week out. You know, we're publishing this truth among the chief of nations, which is America, man. You know, we're setting up the standard. We're publishing the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and that this word go out and reach the elect, the remnant. Okay, which I want to go into this word in a second. Verse 8, it says, go ahead, brother, you got it.
This is Jeremiah 31 and 8. Behold, I will bring them from the north country.
And that north country is representing America, man. You know, so this is Bible prophecy, future prophecy. Go ahead.
And gather them from the coasts of the earth.
And that's proof that the remnant, the elect, are scattered abroad, man, according to prophecy, via slavery, the different sieges that Israel had to go through different captivities, from fleeing to another land to, you know, from one land to another, you know. So the nation of Israel is all over the world, you know, the seed of Israel. Go ahead.
And with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither.
Right, and that great company is the elect, man. You know, the 1/3 and 144,000. You know, the remnant of Israel. You know, and that's who Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to deliver. Okay, so I want to touch on this word remnant here. All right. Okay, yeah, the Hebrew word sha'ar yatah, sha'ar ra yatah. All right, it says rest, residue, remainder, remnant. Rest, what is left. Descendants, remainder, descendants. Okay. It says surviving final portion that had escaped. You see what I'm saying? To be left. All right. Just like we saw earlier in the pictures, you know, there's going to be a surviving group of people that's going to make it through the destruction. You know, as you see in these movie wallpapers here, man. You know, there's always somebody that survives all the doom and gloom, if you will. All right. So jumping back to that, the point, it says remaining part survivors, especially after a slaughter. Okay, so that's heavy. You know, that means that means a great slaughter is coming upon the house of Israel, man. Because according to 1 Peter, was it 4:16? Judgment shall start at the house of Israel first. Get that. Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. I'll let you read it out first. 1 Peter 4:16. See where we at. 1 Peter 4:17. That's it right there.
It's 1 Peter 4:17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Right. So it's gonna start at the house of Israel, the house of God. Go ahead.
And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua?
Right. So if it begin at us, the ones that know that the truth, the ones that know the Israelites, all right, how much more is going to be at them that don't obey, that don't even know Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? You see what I'm saying? Verse 18, you read that, brother.
Verse 18, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Right. So if the righteous is going to make it by the hairs on the chin, man. You know, it said the righteous scarcely shall be saved, man. All right. It says where should the ungodly and the sinner appear, man? You know, so it's going to be even worse for the ones for the unrighteous, if you will. You know, so jumping back to that, you know, that great slaughter is what I wanted to get into, because the Lord is bringing a great slaughter upon the nation of Israel, man. All right, and that's the separation between the 1/3 and the elect and the 2/3, man. You know, that's the remnant, man. That surviving group of that great slaughter is the remnant, man, the elect. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 30:7. You read that, bro?
It's Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Right, and this is the time of Jacob's trouble, man. We are here, man. Martial law, okay, the crash of this economy, you know, the RFID chip basically being publicized right now, because it's going to be mandatory, man. Some false flag, some type of false flag, or maybe a power grid knockout, something that's going to do away with the dollar and this internet, basically, man. Crash Wall Street, crash all the systems around the globe. Something to that effect has to happen to make this chip the new world currency. You know, all right. But it said that it's even the time of Jacob's trouble, and he shall be saved out of it, man. And that's going into the elect, man. Because not all of Jacob is going to be saved. It's only going to be that remnant, okay, that preserved the elect. Okay? Get that, Daniel 12:1.
Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was seen since there was a nation. Right.
So this type of calamity and destruction and woe that's coming on the world has never been seen on the earth, man. You know, and that lets you know that this judgment that the Lord is bringing on the earth is going to be serious, man. All right, to the point where majority of the world's population is going to be destroyed, man. You know, keep reading, brother.
To that same time, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
Right, and only the elect that's going to be found written in the book of life, man. You know, because it was already predestined for the elect to be written in the book, man. Those are the only ones that's going to make it out of this destruction, out of this chaos that's coming, man. You know, because behind your dollar bill, what does it say? Order ab chaos in Latin, you know, which means order out of chaos, man. Okay, because, hey, this chaos is coming, man. You know, it's to the point where it's hit that threshold now, man. That bubble's about to burst, man. You know, and you see all the uprisings that's going on with these nations, these superpowers. You know, you got you just had the U.S. put sanctions on North Korea, which basically the U.S. is messing up the currency flow in North Korea, man. So that's you messing with their money, man. It's just problems, man. You see all of the tensions, the rumors of wars surfacing, man. So these are the times we in, man. It's like you can't not see this, man. That's right. You know. So if you choose to be oblivious about everything, you're gonna be destroyed, man. At the end of the day, man. You know. Grab that real quick. Psalms 20.
This is Psalms 20:1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The Lord, Salakia, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai of Jacob, defend thee.
Right. You know, the power of Jacob is the one that's going to defend his people, man. That's all he's coming to do. He's for the Israelites, starting with the elect, man. That the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to be our defense during that time, man. Okay, because as the definition we read earlier in Remnant, you know, the survivors, especially after a slaughter, you know, let's get into that. You know, this is Salakia. Let me get Ezekiel 6 and 8. Here we go.
It's Ezekiel 6 and 8. Yet will I leave a remnant, that ye may have some that shall escape the sword among the nations.
Right, because Jake, the nation of Israel is everywhere, because this chaos that's going to fall upon the planet, it's going to happen. It's going to be globally, man. America's going to get destroyed, but also different nations around the world are going to get destroyed too, man. You know, and the elect, which are scattered amongst these nations, are going to have to go through that trouble as well. You know, that time of the hour of temptation, man, the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, it's going to be everywhere, man, for the elect. You know, go ahead.
The nations, Salakia, escape the sword among the nations, when ye shall be scattered through the countries.
Keep going.
Verse 9. And they that escape of you shall remember me among the nations, whether they shall be carried captives.
Right, and in the book of Baruch, I believe chapter 4, it tells you that in the land of their captivities they should remember themselves, man. You know, and that's going into the elect, man. You know, because you have the elect everywhere, man. You know, it's brothers all over the globe that's bringing out the name Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, go ahead.
Before I am broken with their whorish heart, which hath departed from me, and with their eyes, which go a whoring after their idols, and they shall love, Salakia, and they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have committed in all their abominations.
Right, and Jake is stuck in all these different philosophies, man. You know, Jake want to be Kemet, Egyptian. You know, he want to subscribe to the philosophies of Esau, the devil. You know, being an atheist. You being your own God. You know, there's no higher power above you. You know, our people hearken unto these celebrities. You know, they basically they live their lives in vanity, man, instead of coming back to the scriptures, man. You know, they want to be sodomites, lesbians, transgenders. Okay, that's why I said they shall loathe themselves for the evils. For the evils which they have committed in all their abominations, man. So Jake is he's stuck into that. He's stuck into all these different types of abominations. Verse 10.
Verse 10, Ezekiel 6 and 10. And they shall know that I am the Lord, and that I have not said in vain that I would do this evil unto them.
Right. So the Lord is not going to bring this evil upon Israel for no reason, man. There's a purpose behind this, man, because our people today still don't want to let go of America. They don't want to. They don't want to come out of being black. They don't want to. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to let this place go. This place is going to pass away, man. But since Jake want to stay, you know, join hand in hand in this place, they're going to be thrust through, man. And that's why the Lord said that He said, and that I have not said in vain that I would do this evil unto them, man. So the Lord there's a reason why this is coming upon Jake. You know, verse 11.
Verse 11, thus saith the Lord power, smite in thy hand, and stamp with thy foot, and say, alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, for they shall fall by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence.
Right, that's part of that great slaughter that's coming, man. You know, the sword representing different variations of destruction, man. It said the sword by the famine and pestilence. Keep going.
Verse 12. He that is far off shall die of the pestilence, and he that is near shall fall by the sword, and he that remaineth and is besieged shall die by the famine. Thus will I accomplish my fury upon them.
Right. So this is going to happen to 2/3 of Jake, man. You know, this is the looming destruction that's coming to them, man, because they continue to be stuck in these abominations, man. You know, the famine, the pestilence, all right, and the sword, man. So the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, these are things that's promised to the 2/3, man. But he promised to the elect that during these times of trouble that you know, the chosen was gonna make it through. All right.
Okay.
This is let me get there. This is Psalms 37. Get that right quick. Read it.
All right. Psalms 37, 19 through 20. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time.
Right. So the elect are not going to be ashamed in that time of evil. Keep going.
And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied.
But it said in the days of famine, they should be satisfied, man, because, you know, hey, that lack of bread is already here. You know, we bring it out all the time. GMO foods on the market, that's a famine, man. All right. So when they shut that shit down, that's it, man. You know. But
also in going on in Venezuela right now.
Okay.
It's going on in different parts of the world.
Yep.
Where there's actual famine going on.
Venezuela, Mexico, you know, Brazil, different parts of the world, and then on top of that, the different parts of the world are already using the RFID chip technology too. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, this is here, man. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 20.
Excuse me.
But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, into smoke shall they consume away.
Right. So it said the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as fat as lambs. Because you got to cut that fat off, man. You know, that fat ain't good for you. You got to cut that off and throw it in the fire, man. You know.
That's right.
And that's what's gonna come to the wicked, you Edomites, and enemies of the Lord. You 2/3 of our own people, and you heathens, man. You know. But it said in the evil time, in the days of famine, they should be satisfied, and that's the elect, man. So those are the comfort that the Lord is going to have during that time, man. You know? Go ahead and read that next one, Isaiah 65.
Isaiah 65, 13 through 14. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, verse 14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Right, and that's self-explanatory, man. You know, the elect are going to eat and drink in that day, man. You know, but we can't say that to the rest of you people out there, man. You know, that's not a part of the fold, man. You know, and this is the reality, man. You know, there's already been news articles that came out about, what did it say, about 200 million Americans are obese. You know, so just imagine when the famine come, man, and the resources run out in the first 2 days, man. That's millions and upon millions of people that's gonna die right then and there, man. You know, some of these people can't even survive 30 minutes without eating, man. You see what I'm saying? But the Lord promised to His saints, the elect, that they was gonna eat and drink during that time of that time of trouble. You know, all right. So this is 2nd Esdras. 16 and 18. Read that, brother. Read on down to 19.
16?
Yeah. 18. Start at 18.
2nd Esdras 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death.
The beginning of famine and great death. This is where we at in the world today, man. The beginning of famine and great death. Great slaughter is coming upon the world, man.
That's right.
This is the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Go ahead.
The beginning of wars.
The beginning of wars, man. We're in the midst of World War III right now, man. You got sanctions. People get these countries. America's sanctioning different countries, man. What did Iran tell the U.S. that they need to not worry about the matters of other countries and get ready for the crash of their economy? You know, that's rumors of war. That's war talk, man. You know, launching these Korea, China, Russia launching nuclear missiles. You know, testing them. All right, this is not for show, man. Right. This is how the world is going to end. Okay, go ahead.
Salakia, also adding to that, one of the last nuclear missile tests, there's an article that came out that said it flew within a few minutes of hitting a private airliner, or a private jet.
God, hey, so, rumors of wars.
God,
you know,
God, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Right. So that's a question that Ezra's asked. What shall I do when these evils come? You know, we in that same lot, man. You know, we gonna hold fast unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. That's our only protection, man. You know, the scriptures tell you that the Lord is a strong tower to those that fear, man, and protection, man. You know, keep reading, brother.
Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Right. So which that means that it says, behold, famine and plague or tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. Those are penalties and judgments. All right. For not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right. These are the penalties for wickedness, man. You know. Go ahead.
Verse 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness.
Right, because Jake, all these things are coming. You read them in the scriptures, and Jake's still going to continue to be a Kemet. He's still going to be a sodomite. He's still going to be, you know, follow his own heart, you know. Go ahead.
Nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Right, so Jake ain't mindful about none of this stuff. He's going to still continue to live the abominable life that he's living, not give it up and come back to the Lord, man. So as a result of that, these are the penalties, man. You know. Grab Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 9 and 10.
All right. Wisdom of Solomon 3 verse 9 and 10. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be beautiful in love shall abide with him.
Such and faithful in love.
Oh, Salakia, as be faithful in love shall abide with him.
Right, because we know love is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect.
And he have care for his elect, and that's plain, man. All right? And it says, and they that put his trust in him shall understand this truth, man. And we understand what's coming, you know? And only that elect, only that remnant is going to be able to get this, man. You know? Those are the ones that's been set aside, that's been preserved for this upcoming doom and destruction.
Salakia, I ain't even cut you
off.
You
good, brother. Go ahead.
It brings back the scripture that says, for those that sigh and cry for the abominations done.
Ezekiel. Yep.
It just brought that to my mind. That that's who the remnant is. That's who the elect is. That's what the elect will be doing. Salakia.
No, you good, brother. Keep reading.
Verse 10. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations.
Right. The ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, man. And this is really going to our people, man, because this message is for them. All right? Because Jake gonna continue to do what he want to do, man. You know, he's his own God. He controls his destiny. All right. He don't believe God exists. You know, subscribing to all these demonic philosophies, man. You know, so it said they should be punished to their own imaginations, man. So whatever it is, whatever wickedness that you're into, the Lord is gonna give you over to that to allow you to be destroyed, man. Yes, keep going.
Which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord.
Right, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord, because the prophets of the Lord are out there on the highways and byways, man. But what do? They hear the message and they just cast it behind their back, man. They said in their hearts that they will not do the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. So it's in essence you forsaken the Lord, man, because the Lord speaks through his prophets, man, which the prophets are the men of great millstone. Okay,
that's right.
You know, so you know, hopefully that lesson was edifying. You know, we just wanted to bring that out. You know, going into the remnant, the elect that's going to survive these troubling times that the Lord is bringing upon the earth, man. You know, so hopefully that was edifying. We'll give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to our elders and apostles who taught us this truth. And salutation to all Yakim nationwide, teach us truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.